Cool, works. Hey, Mayday. Thank you so much for the Prime. Oh my god. I really appreciate it. How you doing? How's Toxic Avenger? Better than expected? Nice. That's unfortunate. It kind of makes sense. That's just kind of how it is nowadays, but yeah. Practical effects are too expensive, I guess. Though that's not true. All right, give me a minute. Playing a game. We're playing a game. I don't know how big of a game it's going to be. We will see. How to boss this? I've not heard of that. I hope you enjoy it. Take it easy. Thank you for lurking. But yeah, a hand with many fingers got me wanting play some more investigation style games. So we're gonna play the Roottrees Are Dead. Yeah, definitely more than 10. Yeah, it was fun. Played that on Sunday-ish? Sunday-ish? Hold on. I should actually export that. If I haven't yet. I don't really know why I bother. But I mean, it's something. It feels like I should do it, so I will continue to do it. Export. Is now exporting. But yeah, it's another investigation game. It's kind of a mix of what we played before, where it's kind of like an archive, but in this case, it's like an old search engine. We have like an old internet, and Obra Dinn a little bit, where the whole mystery is like we got to figure out a way loud. Yeah, I just noticed that. Like, yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of Return to the Obra Dinn. We're trying to figure out like who's who and fill out a family tree. Having to be on right now checking stuff. I get it. It's good to not be on the internet that long. Okay. Number of evidence that indicates that there are more leads to track down. We'll leave that. I don't really mind difficulty. Sure. Let's call that. Okay. I guess it's just the start of it. Butler, Pennsylvania. It is 1998. Roottrees Are Dead. What happened? The plane crashed last night near Pittsburgh. Passengers were Carl Roottree, his wife Brenda, and their 3 daughters. As the Roottree sisters. Carl Roottree was the president of the Roottrees Candy Company, and it's not clear who will succeed. So far, local police are not sure what caused the crash. 5 family members skadooshed. Unfortunate. They're calling it one of the most deadly plane crashes in Pennsylvania's history. All passengers and crew perished. Pittsburgh is generally known for pleasant flying conditions, and the weather was not atypical for this time of year. We do not know much at this time, but our sources tell us the local authorities do not suspect terrorism. The crash did not cause any local property damage, and unfortunately, nobody outside the plane was hurt. Funeral plans have not been announced, but you can be sure the Butler County Times will cover to the best of our abilities. So this was a game jam game that was created at one point and got very popular. This is like a remake of it that was online only. This also has a second, like a DLC sort of, like a second campaign. This adds like a whole living room, because before it was like all text, I think, or like just like the computer interface or something. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see. I've heard good things about this. I think Reindeer played this as well, which is quite neat. December 6th, 1998. The dawn of the new millennium.
Last night, just outside of Pittsburgh, is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers.
Mary Kate and Mary Kate.
There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Oh no! Oh, what is this living room going on?
Late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees Company's lawyers are scrambling.
Expanding jam games is wild. Was touch tangled mess spaghetti. The good news is that is the correct time to touch spaghetti is after a game jam, because there's basically nothing there. You did it for such a small amount of time. The amount of code is very small, and then you can also just take what works and then just like this, and then just start something new with it. Those are the best things to redo.
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer.
Blood relative.
I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Okay.
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were.
A genie? Ology.
I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Comes out of jam window. I mean, sure, but A, don't do that. Just don't. And B, that's only 10 days of work for that. So even if you had to redo literally everything, it's another 10 days. Because you don't have to solve any problems. You already solved them. You just know the functionality you need. That's it. That's the point. Jams are intentionally very small. Month-long jams don't really count, although I also don't think those are jams. A game jam, in my mind, maxes out at 10 days. Past that, no, that's a full-on production cycle just for a small game. Send me mental health resource for Discord and Twitch. Do it. Send it to me. I will. I think I still have that. I did have a command for that. I guess it's currently broken. I updated streamer bot, but I did have a command that had links to some mental health stuff. So cool. How was PAX, by the way? Are you back, or are you still there in the midst of the Vidya games? All right. We have to complete a family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Siblings are in birth order, youngest to oldest. Oldest first. That makes sense. It felt missing. Good overall. I mean, that's too bad. Although I think a big part of PAX is also what you make of it, but that's in a professional sense. So if you're just going to see the games, I can see that. Which one is the chiptune one that everyone goes to? Magfest. Magfest looks fun. I'd love to go to Megfest. All right, so what do we got? Examine my evidence. Search the internet for clues. Fill in the names, fill in the occupation, fill in the photos. Name, occupation, and photo. That is what we need. Got another beautiful cork board. You love to see it. I'm a sucker for cork boards. Evidence. Oh, that just takes us to evidence. Got milk picture and list of names. Interesting. The person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. It was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. Tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering circumstances. Yes, copy reads. You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Rootree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. But you can't make chocolate without it. Okay. So, they appear to be roughly identical, but we got a ring here. Got that's what we got. I have no idea. All right. No idea who is who. Next piece of evidence. We have names. Provide you with the mysterious person who showed up at your door. They have to fill in the family tree. Woman. Eloise somebody. These are all the people. These are the Rootrees themselves. Which, okay, understandable. Okay. So... first, the Rootree sisters. We need those first. Oh, one of them is married. Okay. What do we got? What do we got down here? We have the evidence table. All we got is that they are sisters. We have the internet. And we have a whole thing here. Notorious Montjoys. Should I know about the Montjoys? I guess he's kind of giving a little bit of character for the person that we are. We got a leather jacket. We got a genealogy interest. We got our mystery interest. And then we just got, you know what? Sometimes I like to party a little bit. You know, they want to be a little crazy girl sometimes. And who doesn't? You know what I mean? Oh, okay. And we got like shortcuts to the different. Family Doku. Alphabet Davis, Secret Searcher. Alphabet Davis, reverses. Alphabet Davis, Ends and Beginnings, A Young Alphabet Adventure. Okay, so we got mystery novels and then, like, a genealogy puzzle book. That's kind of fun. P at Sword, exclamation mark. How did my Game Boy know? That's fun. Cool. Ducky. Okay, search the internet. Let's do that. Welcome to the information superhighway. Print it out with your high-end color laser printer or burn a music CD to listen to later. PCs. No notifications, no documents printed. Gotcha. Internet. Okay, so now we are on the internet. We got spider search. You can create notes quickly by highlighting text. Okay. Let's just get their names first. Rooties. Oh, root tree, not Rootree. These results about the plane crash. Countless advertisements and conversations with the various. Carl Rootree. His daughters were also eulogized. The Rootree sister faded from a very early age. Okay. Rootree fan site. Seems created by a teenager. It's neon pink. Rihanna is the most famous. Riley's a smart one, and Rose is the middle child. I'd like to highlight those. Cool. I don't know how to pull that up, but I cool. You might think they are rich because they're models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda. Carl Rootree is the father. Brenda is their mother. Okay. Modeling for the brand Root. I eat Root Tree candy all the time. My favorite are maple crisps, and they try to dress in plaid Root clothes like Riley does. So Riley is in plaid in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Okay. Talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. Okay. So, let's go back to... So you're the middle one. That's plaid. So that's Riley. And that's... So Rose, Riley, and the other one. Okay. Rana is the oldest. Raina? Raina. Then Rose. Oh, R-H-O-S-E. R-H-O-S-E is wrong. Riley? Riley, R-H-O-S-E is middle child. That's so weird. Robert, Ronald, Samantha. Essa? Oh, they must have changed their name at some point. November? Okay, well, let's get some faces in here. Hello, Verdansk. I hope you're well. Riley's got plaid on. Okay, faces in the evidence tab. Okay, we got those. You're plaid. Ears pierced. That's you. And Raina's the other one. Could be you. Okay. Got married to TMS. So last name S. GP T something S. Gotta be that. It's gotta be Thomas Sheridan. E something S. Don't know what the M is, but we got that. Okay, so the one we're missing is Rose Rootree. Let's look that up. Should be an H here. Not as popular as her older sister Raina, but still very well known. They live together as the Rootree sisters. But also Rose by herself don't do anything different when searching for the sisters together. Make a note of any brand names, books, product lines, or magazines that you don't recognize and search for them. Okay. Well, I said to search for a brand name, so we got that. Root is what they're doing. Hello, reindeer. I did. I smashed them. They had a plane flying. I reached up and then they fell down. But that's okay. They hired me to figure out the family tree. So you streamed this, didn't you? I thought I saw you stream this at some point. I could be wrong. Well, for children, toddlers, and teenagers. The website is down. You find countless. Okay. Riley Rose Arena. Okay. Root's released 2 catalogs per year every year since 1984. And appeared on almost all of them. Carly Rootree. Okay. Interesting. So that's how we got that. That is Carly Rootree. Okay. Once or twice. Surprise and self-contained. So much to do so little. Yeah, like this was kind of a remake of a jam game they did. Although if you have to put every name in the family tree, that's interesting. And we don't know what they do. Model? I guess model would be all of them. Okay, neat. There's 50 blood relatives. Oh, it's very Obra Dinn. Okay, cool. Thomas, from an optional entry, Thomas Sheridan. Booyah! Okay.
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
I like the little kissy lips noise.
For untangling the family tree is substantial, life-changing even. But here's the catch.
I like the hand-drawn numbers on the phone as well. Big fan.
The root trees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing, but I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives.
Okay.
And
anyone related only by marriage is optional. Okay.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable root trees.
Okay.
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree.
43-hour AOL CD.
I'm off for now. Carl Rootree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything you...
I haven't seen any of those in a
I'll return
while. They
once
used to
you
be
identify
flooded
6 more blood
thrift stores
relatives.
and stuff. Now they're like all gone. 6 more blood relatives. You go. Oh my god. Oh, hi again.
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
Sure. I mean, I'm loyal to the first person to talk to me. That's just true. Okay. God. Sleuth! Okay. You get 3 additional... Oh, yeah. So it is Obra Dinn. You get a bunch correct, and then it locks in. Okay. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional. Placing them in the tree helps with extra names. Okay. To verify this person, you'll be able to add bonus photos. Open this envelope after it's all been filled in. It's 2 names that must be typed in manually. Be hidden in the past. It may even require some leaps. Okay. Okay. Well, I know that their mother is named Brenda. Yeah. Brenda Rootree, the Rootree sisters' mother. Yeah. Wait, so why isn't it Rootree? Well, it's got to be Brenda White, then. They are the head designer. which is not there. Media mogul? Root's head designer. That's not true, apparently. Artist? Would artist count? Okay, well, let's see here. Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6th, 1998. That's going to be important. That is the date that I need. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers are looking to sort out the family tree. After a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources. Cool. Well, Roottrees. Easy to find online. Okay, so yeah, it's just like, hey, look these up, idiot. President Howard, you gave this list that everyone on it could be found easily via your search engine. Carl Roottree, Elias Gwyneth Roottree. Any entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. Notable Rootrees will be crossed out after they verified and advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. So the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The adults mentioned the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Strawberry, Power Plum, Awesome Apple, Bad Blue Raz, and Chocolate. Radical new flavor because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry anyway? Okay. The 20s? Interesting. I don't know if that matters, but... Okay. I'm going to focus on their mom for a second. Come across an auction for a black and blue dress. That's a Brenda White original. I knew it. The auction describes it a vintage dress from before Brenda became Brenda Roottree, designing clothes for Root. So she was a clothes designer. She's always been a clothes designer. Hello, Nat. Welcome in. I hope you're good. So I was right. Okay. Let's check up some periodicals. I would like a Root magazine. Oh, I also have to put in a keyword. Okay. 1985, because she's on the cover. Nothing relevant. What? Is it all caps? Okay, I guess I don't actually know how to use this. Move the period? Okay, I don't know what periodicals means. Public library. I need an author name and I need a book title. Okay. I'm just looking up keywords I already have. So let's look at the 5 pieces candy. It's got to be important. For marketing materials and various candy history sites, you learn that 5 pieces of the iconic candy sold by the Roottrees. They're no longer the company's only popular product. They still sell well to this day. They're small, colorful shell-coated maple candies that since the late 20s have been pressed into the shape of a maple leaf. There's a history of print advertising website that claims to have a 5 pieces advertisement scanned. Okay, by Charles Lee, so we got a book there. Unfortunately, when you click through the websites, all the image links are broken. Okay. The Sweet History of Candy. Volume 2. That still seems important. The author published a different name than the one you searched for. What? Okay, so it has to be like exact. Okay. This is part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production, global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. In addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. It was a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 30s. Okay. A modern candy for a modern society. Roottrees 5 pieces. Roottrees are a proud family business, and our flavors are inspired by our children. GECEM. So those are the original 5 children. Grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract. M is for melon, and M for miracle bar. So GECEM and M. Right today. So we got the first letter of the different original 5 children. So that's important. The order is grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and... Okay, good to know. Okay. I still would love a Brenda White picture to, like, knock that out. Okay. Let's look up names. Carl Rootree. Let's do that. Just start at the top. Carl Rootree died in the recent plane crash along with his wife, Brenda Rootree. President, clothing company Roots, co-founded with his wife. December 6, 1980. It was a heavy heart that we mourned the loss of Carl, Brenda, the Rootree sisters, and the other employees that perished in the terrible tragedy. The entire Rootree family is in shock and requesting privacy. At this time, as the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader. And his absence will be difficult and may take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you, looking back fondly, Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. Go on to list some of the accomplishments. Watchman of the Year title, like his great-grandfather... for him. Okay. Let's do... Watch a Man. Critical added Business Watch. Okay, so periodicals I will kind of unlock as we... Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and the economy. It's been around for over 100 years in one form or another. We'll often write about major changes. You find a few searches. The 2 Rootrees have been featured as Watchmen of the Year. Elias and Carl Rootree. Not host any archives. Find via spider search. Okay, so... And Elias was his grandfather. So Carl's father's father. Wherever that is. Yeah, him. Elias Rootree. And then so this is Carl. And he's just a owner of, he's just the CEO. He's just that good. They married and then had... Okay. Wait a minute. You are not a star. So I think it's this way. I think this should be Brenda. And then this is Carl. is CEO. But no, then Elias would be here. Wait, or is Carl not married? Is it 2 down? I don't. What are you asking from me? Carl Rootree, President of Rootree Company, clothing company Root, which he co-founded with his wife. Was Brenda... They haven't explicitly said that Brenda is... Before Brenda became Brenda Rootree. So either Carl had a son and then Brenda married in, or Carl married Brenda. And I don't know what that would be. I'm not too sure how that would be, how specific that would be. Business Watch. Photo. Carl. Carl Rootree was voted Watchman of the Year 1987. And Elias was voted in 1936. I don't know if that's important, but we'll get those years in anyway. Okay. It's me, Elias. Elias Rootree was voted Watchman of the Year in 1906, and a painting of him appears on the cover. To the article at the timeline of 5 pieces, 1908. Elias forms Rootree Candy Company after marrying his wife, who inherited a maple farm. Period before 5 pieces, the company's barely profitable. Elias has a daughter, the first of 5 children, which would be the original 5 flavors. So then we can just kind of go through and mark those off when we get. Elias invents 5 pieces, which shows 5 children, 1 flavor per child. 5 pieces sold in Pittsburgh, Roland, England. Rootree Candy Company purchases every available maple farm in Pennsylvania with the help of his son, Elias Rootree Jr. The help of his son, Elias Rootree Jr.'s architecture firm. Yes, okay. Elias Rootree Jr. That is his son, and he has an architecture firm. Hello, game seems weak. Can't just say that. How do you train for Jenga? Is it like... It's got to be like a Karate Kid situation, right? Except like someone like stacks things up. You have to like go in and pull something out or something. Or maybe someone makes like a big sandwich and then you're supposed to like take out individual parts of it or something. What mundane daily activities can you repeatedly do to train for the big Jenga tournament? I can't think of anything. Very few times in life is it a good thing that you're pulling things from the middle of a stack. What's next section claims Elias is going to be pivot to ensuring his company's legacy, or she can't. With the Clanced Trust. Clanced Trust. Interesting. Okay, so Elias Rootree Jr. is his son. And that is the second one. So the second child... 3, 4, 5. This is Elias Rootree Jr. Elias Jr. He was an architect. He was a candy man. CEO? Maybe. That was the Clance Trust, so it's got to be Clancy, maybe, in there somewhere. This is, like, it's this part that's weird. This has to be Brenda. Well, no, it's blood. So Brenda married in. So if Brenda married in, not a blood relative. So Brenda goes here for sure, which means that has to be Carl. All right, well, let's slap his big mug on there first. Oh, then grandfather would be... No, this would be uncle. Uncle over here. Because that would be Elias Jr., but it says the order is... They very explicitly said the order of... Their order is grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and miracle berry. So, that can't be it. Hey, what's going on here? Carl Roottrees was voted Watch for the Year 1987. A photo of him appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business Watch is magazine for blah, 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 blah. Carl was chosen not for his work at Roottrees Candy, but for a clothing company. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with the other parents, including Carl's cousin, Jim Roottrees, a notable singer, had a young daughter around the same age as Raina. That's important. Jim Roottrees is his cousin. By 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands. So the demand Carl and his second cousin, Ernie Jr., who had just become Roottrees at the time, spearheaded Root. So, cousin would be parents' siblings. Parents' siblings. Okay. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refuse to fund anything other than candy. So Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. New clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Raina became their catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl was voted Watch for the Year primarily for his personal gamble and the ensuing payoff. Okay. So we have Jim Roottrees and second cousin Ernie Jr. Oh, cousin is this direction. Cousin is this direction. I don't know how... those work. Okay, you're also starred. So if you're starred, then you would have to... Yeah. Jim Roottrees, maybe? Yeah, that has to be Jim Roottrees, because that's his cousin. So that has to be Jim Roottrees. James Roottrees. But I got sunshine. Notable a singer. No? Finally, someone let me out of my cage. How is singer not in here? Musician. Who has a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Raina is the oldest. Okay. I guess we need a sec. Okay, so there are multiple pictures of the same people. This is a weird game. Oh my god. But that's gotta be Jim. Family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Surnames from birth, which is a person's most recent occupation. Okay. So, if that's their most recent occupation... It doesn't say anymore. Junior. Okay. Okay. Let's just look up Carl Rootree online, although I think I got him. Elias and Gwyneth. Let's look up Gwyneth Rootree. The website for the first Anderson Maple Farm. There are a few pictures, including a famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth. The photos added to evidence. Gwyneth Rootree, before marrying Elias, she had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was inherited the Anderson Maple Farm as long as she married. Okay. So Gwyneth Anderson, I'll pull that in a sec. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy instead. Success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with the flavors. With the 5 pieces, although the Rootree Candy Company expanded well beyond the original farms and preserved the tourist attraction. Anderson Maple Farm. Okay. Daily demonstrations, educational tours, show off the many turn-of-the-century appliances going to a housewife. Okay. Up. Anderson Maple Farm before, Okay, that's fine. Got a second picture of him. Look at him go. Founded the candy company before it was a success. Difficult to find any site about Elijah Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Okay, so this is supposed to be like the easy ones. You are Gwyneth Anderson, and you were also a CEO. No? You're a candy maker. Or, investor. Be a mogul. I don't know what that means. I have 3 down. I know you're all correct. CEO is such a weird... He founded the company. Artist? No, it has to be CEO. Soft circus music in the background. It's called jazz. You might have heard of it. Might have heard of it from old-timey times. God. These are correct! Break the casket bounce like a jack-in-the-box. Jesus. All of a sudden, just spring out and surprise everybody. I mean, that would actually be a sick funeral. Let's be real here. I'd go to that funeral. Hold on. I'm not going to have a funeral. I'm just going to, like, get in an accident and then just immediately in the cremation place. No funeral was going to occur, probably. I think he's the oldest bitch on the chart. I mean, that's like his original picture. This is closer. But like, if he's not a CEO, what is he? Became president of Roottrees. Okay, so is it not a CEO? Are we looking for president? And then, but then if that's the case, then, because then they're founders. They were farmers? No, they were candy people. Results for extremely popular candy products. Maybe they did something else. The official website isn't stable. We found a direct link to the history. Founded by Elias Roottrees after married Gwyneth, and they owned a farm called Anderson Maple Farm. It is no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president with inputs and votes from extended family. The site does mention that every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottrees, who, despite his death, is listed as the current president. Okay. Product that put them on the map was 5-piece. So they are not CEOs, they are presidents. Product that put them on the map were 5 pieces, maple candies, 5 different flavors. They were dipped in crackly candy. Products, all which. Okay. So first, second, third, fourth. This would be, well, it says the most recent, so that has to be 5th, because it's the most recent president. So you are the first president. Which means you're what? What are you? Also the first president? Second president? Are you the first? And you're the second? First president. Then there's a second. Then the third. Then the... Gotta be 4th. Because 5th would be then like the next in line. I got no idea here. President once. Huh? How is this wrong? Gwyneth not just wife? That's not an occupation, is it? Housewife? Oh my god. I wholeheartedly disagree. There would be no candy company without her. I'm pissed. I'm pissing and shitting over that one. That's mean. Hello, Bach. How are you? Hello, Scoots. Welcome in. Massage was very fashionable at the time. It was 1908. I guess that's a good point. Okay, these are locked in. Bam, 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 bam. Perfect. Win. Okay, well, let's look up Jim Roottrees because we know that he's... Let's actually clear some of these out. Anything that we haven't completely locked in yet. 7. 6. Great-grandfather. read that before. I'm gonna forget that, so I'm leaving that. I'm leaving you as well. Nah. You're gone. Okay, let's look up Jim Roottrees and see where we're sitting. Ubin okay? Nice. I'm... Oh... Still figuring out insurance stuff. I missed the first phone call, so I have to wait for them to have another one. Never heard back from the repair shop either, so I'm gonna call them tomorrow if they don't call me after the insurance person does things, so I know what's up. I don't know. Fucking weird. James Roottrees, who's Carl's cousin, a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rolling On Down to the City, is now in my evidence folder.
We're rolling on down to the city.
This sucks. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but has its fans, who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they're known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you find mentioned are Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Why not? Jim has become a bit of a recluse and hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Okay. Diamond LaRaux. We just get the same thing. Okay. It's got to be this one. Got to be correct. That has to be correct. Okay. God, this song sucks. ARG? Nope, just G. Making disco music like stay hidden as well. To be fair, the rest of the music was not disco. It should have been. That way we would have to hear even less of it. Can I like... No. I can't go back to jazz, unfortunate. As seen in MMM, only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. Peter Jemowitz, MMM. Great. I hope I don't have to pay attention to these lyrics. This sucks. Okay, you're down. Let's go. Let's look up Gwyn Roottrees. Thank God. Information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized, and the search is broken. Individual page from your search engine. Gwyn Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress. Gwyn Roottrees, actress, active in the 50s. She then often appeared in tabloids. Her biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwyn from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Okay, so this is Gwyn. Gwyn was the granddaughter of Elias Roottrees, the founder. So Gwyn was the granddaughter of Elias Roottrees. She shouldn't have been named Roottrees, but her father took her mother's famous name. Quite rare in those days. Okay, so we're Gwyn, different last name. Granddaughter. So on this level somewhere. Somewhere on this level is Win Rootree. It's going to be there, or it's going to be there. Because it is a starred... Or it could be there, because it's a starred name. We have 3 potential locations. That's not great. Okay. Red. Information about strange historical facts. Aloysius Herring Rootree, aka Red, was an appointed judge and politician. Ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. Served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position in the Irish people. Then tried to run for state senate. He donated to the Rootree Mining Company. Came out that the last name was merely coincidence, and he was defeated in a landslide. Not a blood relative. Does that mean... Wait, there an X somewhere? If he's not a blood relative, then what's the point? Why is he a notable Rootree? Red herring. Fuck you. That's really funny, actually. That's really funny. Lauren Rouge. That is pretty good. I like that. Author Lauren Rootree, distant relative of the Rootree system, known for a book, A Life Between Wars. Okay, well let's pull that. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You can find a hardcover edition for students. Teachers. Summary of the contents, photos, will list some particular relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Thank you! According to a website about famous authors, in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. Fanfare. The publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family. They insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Rootree, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. Collection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother. Perspectives on changing times and social life all the way through entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generations. The publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Rootree, Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans referred to as the Court Jester series. No recent details about Lauren, listed as retired. Let's Romance in Court. About the author, she has inspiration from one of her brother, Clancy. Ah! So we have Clancy is her brother, which is not like that the most important thing. Oh, that also, hold on, library. I don't know. I'll look at you in a second. Or Lauren Rootree. I have no idea who you people are. What else can I look up in here? Can I get, like, any of the movies, actually? Or is it only books? Guys Like Us. Let's try that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it has to be books. Okay. Cool, good to know. Oh, let's go over what we already have. I did not read this. Okay, Rolling On Down the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks. Satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Images from an auction for a sealed copy, a sticker that says only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees can be disco this week. Da-da-da. Politicians at large are all hopeless. The bankers in charge are all clowns, but parties sell better than protest. So signs up while we boogie down, 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 down. Okay, thank you for all that. There's 11 more pieces of information from this. This sense how useful evidence can be. How many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence? The higher the number, the more there is to find. If you find more evidence or lock in family members and discoveries brought to the list, and old evidence will become less useful. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Okay, so if something has numbers, there's something that references it or it references. Okay, let's start with this book. The below are notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottree's diary pages. Lauren Roottrees is on the notable Roottrees list. The book was published in 1965 and consists of Roottrees from 1940 to 19. Important event was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise her son, Clark, alone. So husband, Jacob, son, Clark. And only one child. Okay. So is that here, or is that one level up? G. When has to be first? No, only one child. So it can't be this one. There's two. Introducing M, so M has to be last. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Okay. Her mother's family was called the Cossels, but she hardly ever mentioned them. Her father, who she also referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company, a legal document called Nancy Trust. Okay, I'm just going to highlight all that stuff. Clear from context that the Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lauren uses them often. 5 Pieces is the first generation. The next generation is Lauren, and then the Free Spirits is the generation after Lauren. So if those things are referenced, then we're good. Oh, shit. Evidence can have multiple pages? Oh, God. I'm sure everything's fine. Okay, so this goes to the different years. An entry entitled Complaints, written 1953. This entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwen, who was on the... Okay. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwen as an only child. Okay. That means this is Gwyn or this is Gwyn. Gwyn is notable, so this has to be Gwyn, which means this has to be Lauren. Gotta be. Gotta be. What did you do? Author, maybe? Spouse to Jacob. Gotta be. Only child. Gotta be. So then you're wrong. Nope, apparently I'm wrong. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it felt... So, Lauren is part of a group of 4. Yeah, okay, I was wrong. You're Lauren. Yeah, okay. I should have read just, like, slightly more. Bing, bing, bing. Perfect. Booyah. Hello, ghost lady.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
Why? If he died in a plane crash, what's going on with the building?
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some important-looking papers.
Okay, thanks.
You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Awesome, thank you so much. Jacob! Okay. During the summer, where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. That's gotta be... Margolite Rouge. Gotta be. I hope she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. Dyed my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess. Just complained. To her, I was the lucky... So Aunt Margot has blonde hair. Oh, wrong one. Perfect. Off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. Must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in starlit and tells of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. The first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. Girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. Clark is gonna be here. Brap. Born a Roottrie, married into the Rafferty clan, had a Rafferty child. Poor stock, as they say, and yet it is what they had to make soup with. An entry titled Dynasty. Lauren Rootree's diary, written in 1958, focused on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president and the meeting to determine his successor. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it for so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. So with the 5-piece review to step up, it came down to us next gens. That's gotta be very important. Because we have 3. The next president was not of the next generation. So the 5 pieces generation went on to the next one. And there was an architects, multiple architects, preachers, and lawyers. So those are some of the jobs of the level above. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family, since we still have the Roottrie name. Might have been sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad has always had a particular view when it came to his bloodline. Zach. Zach, not Roottrie. Firstborn son of the firstborn. But which one is the son? It could be this one. It could be this one. I'm going to assume it's Zachariah because that's an old-timey biblical name. Strong name. The name with good bones on it. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman would take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. Angie is older than Zach, but I'm next oldest of us all. But he just laughed. Clancy. Gotta be the third child. Has to be Clancy. Called her dad Clancy? Or is that going to be down here somewhere? Clancy Edward Roottrie. Gotta be C.E., baby. But there's also a Clancy Jr. who could be anywhere. Could be anybody. One of us at this very moment. The Clancy could be coming from inside the house. Pop argued at length, the company, blah, 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 blah. Angie's older than Zach. And I'm next oldest of us all. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. So that's so it's not Clancy. It's not Pop. His mom wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catch remarks, countered back. Maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. So a large embodied one. Entry entitled Sam, written in 1963. From a previous entry, you learn that Elias Rootree had given it in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Why, Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters, and Granddad had a brother or two. I was told to trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but this rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Miracle. M. That's one of the M's. I don't know which one. Miracle's boys, plural. Which M's are there? How many M's are there? The last two are M's. That's Margot, one child. This has to be Miracle. I'm assuming. It's the other M, and there's multiple, so these are both males. I think that's correct. So far, at least. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. Uncle Junior. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. So one of them is a junior. Fuck off. The reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was... Clancy swore when he saw Sam working alongside the farm hands, E.C. and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. So now there's two Elis. Miracle's youngest, Eli. God. This is rough. Even chimed in. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make his bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially when one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Final entry is called Clark. Lauren Rucci's diary written in it. Who's Eli? Only one to be an Elus. Elaus. One Elaus, two Eli. Clark's getting married, and, in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18, for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. So Clark married Danielle. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of a generation, is a free spirit. What else could you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Clancy? Carl is Clancy's son. So you are Clancy. You are Clancy. I don't know what you do. Because you're Carl. Okay, that checks out so far. And Danielle isn't much older? Hold on. What do you mean Danielle? That's Brenda. Is there another Clark? Is there another Carl, rather? There's a Caroline. I don't know who Danielle is. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. I don't know. I don't know who Danielle... who is that? Our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Oh. Well, I'm doing like a southern kind of... whatever. Pop seemed to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. Whichever one Edward is. And as for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousin are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all. Zach is president! Right, whichever one Zach is. President, second president. His sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Check that's correct. That could be either one. That could be either one. Could be either side. Gwyn is Gwyn, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the Free Spirits and any other family, they'd all end up on the streets, even Clark. Okay. I think I got all the information necessary there. Pulled up the water damage picture. The Free Spirits just fell out. Back is couldn't make the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris. Gwyn and the boys. Well, you certainly look like the boys. I don't know which is which, so you just both go there. They're going to film school. Gotcha. Post tucked inside an envelope with the letter and candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, "To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible. Ernie, more than anyone on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. Posed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for the faith to do so. And full of love, not only for his family, for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you threw together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. So what is... is Ernie? As for myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. I wouldn't have said at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your... To the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. Never have done that much with the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie, Nicole, and then Ernie is passed away, but I do not know who Ernie is. Oh, this is just like a continuing like, oh, this is what happened so far. Okay, cool. 5 pieces. Bam, 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 bam. Picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. That's Pop. Which means... What? I got a picture. That's him. Oh, Pop. You. Taken 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. So Pop is not Eli Jr. That's got to be E up there somewhere. The second one is Eli Jr. Which I got. Perfect. I'm a genius. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. And the 3 of us were all about the same age. Well, only the 5 pieces really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose, stopped the tantrums. They posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden. There with Aunt Gwen. Out a year later, they second photo. Well, you're the youngest, whoever you are. So that means that's you. And I don't know who the rest of you are, so I leave it out. Well, there's only one other male, so that has to be. That has to be correct. Clancy Edward, I don't know what you did. So let's look it up. Clancy Edward. Clanced, pronounced Clansed, Trust is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clan Roottrees, who was Elias's son. Head lawyer. Lawyer. Am I good so far? I don't have... Yeah, okay. I haven't fully filled out. Its unique nature is often brought up in online discussion about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. It mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. Alright, the Clansed Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written in it. Force removing of trust. A guest lecturer talk about the Roottrees versus RR. And the 5-piece guarantee. I'll look into you. Let's... Okay. That's... So Miracle is the youngest. That is confirmed. I don't know which one is which. I'm assuming that would be the second youngest, but or the second full, or... I'm assuming that would be her. But I don't know. Youngest, second youngest, third youngest. Maybe. I can't quite tell who would be older. Oh, there's this guy back there. Who's you? You back there. What's your deal? Mr. Morden was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Interesting. I don't know why I could click on that face, but I heckin' did. Every 20 years or so, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's major in the middle. With water damage and Piper's. That is Carl. Gotcha. Back of the photo in childless print writing, it says nope. So a large number of cursive signatures. Bonnie, President, Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Caroline, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Rootree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Shit. That's gotta be November. Maybe. Well, that's Eli. It says so right there. So Blondie is Eli. Is somewhere. Okay, Morden. Zachariah Morden. That's gotta be him. But Mr. Morden was there? Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Yeah, that's gotta be him. Oh, I don't know who you are. Literally have Eli on your name tag, so gotta be important. Okay, so that's a redo of this photo. This is the next generation. An attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered in the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, but I was outvoted by my brother. So that is not Eli. Tested the 4 of us stand. This is Sam. Because they said it should go to wait. It said it should go to someone who eats food a lot. There it is. They wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. So that would be the next president, going to Zach. Which is ton to gentlemen. Incorrect. Okay, whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter. It could be the other way around. Back. Second president. Yeah, it could be either way. I don't know. That is so him are the ones I put in, and all wrong. At least one of them is wrong. Whatever. Eli stand all the way to the left. Was that what my brother said? The four of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle. Let everyone filter in behind and in front. Oh, that's the only one too good to make an appearance was Gwyn. So Gwyn is not in here. Everyone says that we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. Also didn't think it fair. Miracle me. Technically, 5p. Don't know which one that is. Hello, Digital Zard. How are you? I hope you're well. Welcome in. We're playing the Roottrees Are Dead. It's an investigation game. It's kind of like the Return of the Obra Dinn, but it is trying to suss out the complete family tree of a plane crashed candy company president and immediate family. This one, they have perished. So, need to figure out who's all blood relatives to the original people for reasons. So, yeah, that's it. In which we need to find the names, where they fit in the tree, photo, and most recent occupation. That's what you have to figure out for everybody. Grandma said we include Sam. I also don't think it's fair. Miracle made it into technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child will hold a grudge. Miracle had an eye patch, so that has to be Miracle. The sunglasses would then block it, right? That's got to be it. Let's swap it out with you. Also, like the Obra Dinn, you only know if you're correct once you have 3 complete correct guys. Interesting. Ah! So now something else has revealed itself. Look at that. See the difference? See the one thing that has stood out so far? Because that is going to directly relate to you in the middle. As you can see, one of these things is not like the other, as they say. We're going to blow this whole case wide open. This is buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. A handwritten note attached that seemed personal. Why about a candidate for local office? Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family. That is Stephanie Jones. In her words, it was still full of love. And 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, message to voters is love is the future. Okay. So, where do you fit in? Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let her conflict spread to the next generation. CM. So Stephanie married in. CM is the actual Roottrie of the same generation of Carl. That's not going to be helpful. That's really not helpful. That's so not helpful. Okay, you know what? Let's leave you for now. We're just not going to touch you. You're over there. You don't exist. Let's find out who we're wrong with. Let's look up Clancy Edward Roottrie. I think I did that before. I did. The Roottrie are the 5P. Head lawyer. And I know you go here because of this. This is their children and is in a specific order. They are the CE is the third one. 1, 2, 3. That's you. And you are... Make sure your picture is correct. Pop had it framed. That's him on the left, so that's father. of her, because she's the one writing. So that has to be his picture. And he's a lawyer. This one is 100% correct. No, maybe you. What did Miracle Rootree do? Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Rootree estate. It's quite bare bones, but it has witnessed the testimonies of the Miracle's Rootree. Miracle Rootree arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. Mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. Birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly apart. I will forget that exists unless I write it down. Power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications, even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. He's a preacherman. Bam. Who am I wrong on? Probably Zachariah. Yeah, okay. Booyah. Yeah, you are incorrect. Oh, Zach and Mr. Morden are too different. Could be James Morden. I still think you're right. I'm still leaving you. A preacher named Moral? Exactly, like the Spiders man. 23 years later, Miracle Rootree Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Rootree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. So, Miracle Jr. It's gonna be you or you. Whichever one is not... Miracle Jr. is starred. That means... You are Miracle Jr., who is also a preacherman. Junior? Children now welcome with your pastor Miracle III and his wife Nicole. Special appearance from Miracle Rootree in his 68th year on God's Earth. Which one is which? 3 generations of miracles. Miracle, miracle, miracle. So that means you are Miracle III. And then it's just... They got a lot of rainbows going on. So rainbow means miracle so far, is what I'm gathering here. That's gotta be you. Which means that's gotta be you, and you're also a preacher, unfortunately. Damn, alright, that was fast. Oh, Zachariah, okay, I was correct. It was, okay, cool. Booyah.
Time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Rootree's belongings have apparently gone missing.
Ah, the plot thickens.
Photo of the Rootree family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for for WRTD News.
Well,
Again, that's
WRTD. You got it, fam. Your local investigative jizz radio station. During their news segments at 45 minutes on the hour, they have been talking about the plane crash. This most recent hour, they've been talking about a picture taken from Carl's office after the plane crash and promised an interview online with a psychologist. During the interview, it was revealed there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. Which was likely someone close to the family. Okay, so we're narrowing down who this person is that's got us to do all this. Likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. But they could have an alternative agenda, specifically because nobody in the family's come forward to say they have it in their possession. A comment below. Don't believe their lies. It's just another instance of the Roottrees curse being a real, true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence of it. Oh. Put it. There's a long, rambly conspiracy website with very small, very red text on a black background that says that the Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Important update with Carl and Brenda and their girls. That makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottrees Company have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 1982, but nobody was arrested. Then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. Cannot be coincidence. Another entry that claims you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces wrapper. It's a Mayan ruby skull, a secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. Post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. Time cube! Oh, I love time cube. The author seems to agree. An entry from a few months ago claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75 at prodigy.us asking him to take down his site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't. The owner claimed that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. First entry is 1996 is a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company factory taken by the website's author from behind a fence. Seems that Operation R229 is real. I love this. I love this so much. So, now it might not just be an accident. It could be a moida, and it could be all this other stuff happening. But maybe it's all conspiracy. Who knows? Website footer says, all images and ideas by Thomas Overwood. Thomas Overwood seemed to have... I want to learn about this guy. He seemed to have a few different sites about mysterious deaths and curses, in addition to the Roottrees curse. We'll find one about the truth behind Spirit Cola, which claims spirit really stands for Satan's plague is returning in 2000. In the year 2000, he was drunk spirit cola will die. Big Halloween 3 vibes. Another website is Stock Market and the Devil's Number. Multiply any stock market's price by 666, and also multiply the current year by that same stock's price, then add those 2 numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price, which then removes this, and subtract the current year, which removes that. You end up with 666. Okay, bud. Great, good job. So proud of him. That's really funny. I like that a lot. His wife, Miracle Third's wife, is Nicole. Let's add that in. Don't know which one. Search online WRTD. I did that. Okay. Like, we got a good chunk, but not enough. Who am I kind of missing? You're the most likely to be filled in. But I don't know about that for sure. All of you are crossed out now. You could do like lines on something. Like, nah, okay, there's nothing there. That would be funny if like you could actually dig down and the conspiracy is actually true. I think that'd be funny. God. Where do we go now? Let's go after Margalite. I think that's correct where that is. Interesting. How about N? Clark Rafferty? Maybe? Jim and Diamond soon mentioned that he used to make music with Clark Rafferty. They mentioned an album called These Days. So maybe that's wrong. Band called C and J plus J and D released one single called These Times. So, username Die Hard Dazzler scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRue's first song together. Diamond, Clark, and Jay is another with Jay. He also mentioned that it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister, and that it was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later work. You can't find anything else about Die Hard Dazzler, the band, or the single. After a blazing fast 35-minute download, the track is available. Great. What happened? Well, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Which one is which? We have dark hair and blonde hair. Beard, no beard. Beard and blonde and kind of blondish hair. So that means you gotta be you. That's you. Okay. You're the other. Okay, I think that. Your sister, which I haven't, I'm not too sure about. The website also listed the song's credits as music and lyrics by Clark Rafferty and Jim Roottrees, backup vocals by the LaRues. Rouxes. Oh. Oh, it could be either of these. I don't know. I'll just pick one. Well, it's J and K? Another J. Okay. So there's the other J. If they're married, I don't know. Folk style songwriting, catchy. The lyrics of the song contain no clues. Is that true?
These times are ours for free.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, well, that's that.
Someday these times will all be over.
I just went blam, blam, blam with you guys. Filled you in pretty well.
Morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve a name with me.
There's another M. It's the only M available.
These times are ours for free.
We got Miracle, so this has to be the right one. That has to be the right one. Hello, Noir. Can I get just the specific names? No, I can't. Okay. What do I have in my notes? Look some of these up. Xpop.exe. I'm installing a virus. Found a simple page called the Art. So this is the guy that wanted the conspiracy site taken down. The Art of Rafferty, copyright 1997. Chris Raff, 75. Okay, so this is Chris Rafferty. Below a bunch of gifts under construction, there are a few art pieces. Painting capturing in my fiancée, Lulu. I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her when we get married in May. Go Tartans. Odd collage. Okay, so Lulu. So if that's fiancé, well, let's just lock that in. It could be LaRue. That could still be LaRue. Lulu. Could be, potentially. Cousins would be made up of 3 scrambled images. The accompanied artist statement says we tried to recreate a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could. Even at only a few of them got back to me, and my teachers allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose. But to get creative and use only my 3rd cousins. This includes Davy, and Bethany's yearbook picture, and Stephanie, who's only child. Okay. This artwork has been added to evidence, but the cousins' photos need to be unscrambled before you can use them. Updated. Okay. Oh my god. Really? Okay, this is just a size puzzle. It's not too bad. Atomy. Great. Okay, cool. Well, we're doing this, I guess. How you doing? What's wrong? Oh. That looked pretty good. Not really. Oh my god. no. Wow, this sucks. This sucks, dude. What are you? I don't even know what you are. You're a hand. Go here. Go there. This goes there? No. It goes like that. Okay. So what's this piece? Is it this? Is that piece? Sure. That just looks weird to me, and I don't know why. That looks correct. S that line here. Sure. This piece goes there. Okay, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. Let's go. Oh, it's a ducky. Feeling stuck? You need help. I can use a rubber duck power to skip it. No, I got it. It's fine. It's just kind of... I don't know. It's kind of something, that's for sure. Yeah, that goes there. That goes there, which means this goes here? Sure, which means this goes there. Sure, it's Nipple Man. Got him. Don't know who you are. Davy, Bethany, and Stephanie. These are third cousins. What's a third cousin? I said it couldn't use these. So they're somewhere else. Who the heck knows? I'm assuming that's for a child, though. Chris Raff 75, maybe. No, it's got to be the adult. I had to create a piece of art about a family. Asked as many of my extended family of cousins for the pictures as I could. Okay. So that sounds like it was made by their kid, which would be this one or this one. That's got to be Chris Rafferty then. Is that one or one of these two? Student? College? I guess? My teacher. So I don't know if that'd be college or K-12. Hard to say. His artwork has been added to your evidence, but the cousins' photos be scrambled. Okay. So what do we got? And I got this. Dichotomy, bifurcation. That's what that says, but don't know what that means. College student Chris Rafferty. Self-portrait of you and Lulu. Don't know who Lulu is. I'm just going to go Louisa. That's as best as could be expected to be. Self-portrait Chris Rafferty. Bam, bam. Yeah, gotta be. Because otherwise, there's no other place really for that to go except here. That'd be Clark, eventually married. And then had 2 kids. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Third cousin. Third cousin. Third cousin. Middle school. It could be anywhere down here, so I'm really not too sure. So 1997, which is the previous year. So they could be married now, maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell. But I'm assuming goes in there. It may not go in there, but that's where I'm assuming. Means I have you, so I have 1. Do I have anybody else that isn't? I have 2 there. I don't have a 3rd locked in yet anywhere. Let's try looking for you, Clancy Jr. Ah, Clancy Jr. Period. Go Junior. Okay, never mind then. Elias Roottrees? It's on a website of a historical building in Butler County. He is listed alongside an old residence called the Hunchetop House. You have to find more information. Empty. Information on him. Let's try Zachariah Morden or Zachariah Root. 1C. Spelled wrong. Zakar Aya. Aya. Oh, it doesn't show up. Okay. Just like to go like 1 level up or down from someone I am locked in on. We're all locked in. I don't know anything about you, but that's fine. Okay, back to the notebook. Operation RT-29. That's not going to come. Anything, is it? Probably not. Conspiracy websites. Okay, more conspiracy. People out there claim the Roottrees are changing the candy recipe to include more and more chemicals, which is done in cooperation with bad actors from an unknown government. Due to a loophole in the calendar, it is possible to get away with nearly any crime on a leap day, as long as it is discovered until the day is over. And every 4 years in a leap year, the Roottrees Company hosts a meeting with foreign agents to conspire to poison our children. Proof is Roottrees candies contain polyglycerol polyrinocolate. The ingredient of the candy that wasn't there when it was first released. They claim it is added in an attempt to addict people. I've never heard something called it's going to addict you. I've never heard that. Which makes perfect sense. You can be addicted, which means the addictor has to addict an addictee. So, okay, that makes sense. I've literally never thought of that in my life. Eventually induce mind control. The website claims to sell pills that counteract this effect for children who have already eaten Roottrees candy in the past. You do an additional search for polyglycerol, and it seems to be an emulsifier used in chocolates. Okay, so that doesn't get me anywhere, as I did not think it would. Okay, let's look up some of these bits here. The 5. So this had to do with the fund, the trust for people that are part of the Roottrees. 5-piece guarantee in combination with the Clancy Trust was Elias Rootree's attempt to ensure the Rootree Candy Company would found business for eternity. The yearly salary of Rootree's president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. 5-piece guarantee went into effect. This was 25 cents a year. Now $4 a year. Combined with the trust, it makes more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president. He knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. Whether or not this was a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and by economics. Huh? I don't know what... That doesn't make sense to me. If you only make $4 a year... Or is that, like, it's a percent... It's, like, times an amount. So it is the value of a pack multiplied by, like, 1,000 or something. Like 10,000. Passive income was tied to the profits of the company. Okay, so... No, passive income. That would be, like, stocks and stuff. I don't know. I don't understand that at all. That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna make a note of it. Let's look up the Roottrees versus RR. Find very few details about this particular incident with regards to the Clancy Trust. Yeah, there's just an assumption. Like, I don't have any investments, so it's kind of a big assumption to assume that your family's going to. And especially only in the one company. Like, that's just... I don't know. I feel like I missed a little bit of information about the 5-piece guarantee. The student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on the Legal Oddities website. For what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. We said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock. Second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. The ironclad wording of the Clancy Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Rootree without completely dissolving the trust. Okay, so RR. Which RR is that? Robert or Ronald were going to be pushed out of the Rootrees by someone else. They said they committed a crime. Speaking of crime, someone close to family, the photos. So the family photo, operate an alternate agenda. Could be that there was a crime, evidence of a crime. You are one of the miracle people. You are the same miracle person. It's on the level of Clark, which would be... Oh, that's got to be you. Bam, bam, bam. Hello, Demon. How are you? We're figuring out a family tree. What possible evidence could there be of a crime? This photo... I see not, except for whoever this Eli is. I don't know which one you are. You got... I don't like... You got like a whole thing going on here. I don't like that. Unless it is a different photo, although that's the water smudged one, so that's from his office. That's got to be his kid, right? That's got to be it. I don't see any other evidence of wrongdoing. except mayhaps what is occurring back here. At home. Jeez. Stop working so late, bud. Or if you or don't continue to work late and just make more money. That looks suspicious. Working? What were you doing out there so long? I get hits. Okay, cool. Good to know. Ernie. Let's look up Ernie. Oh, Ernie. Ernie, somebody else. There is no Ernie. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Edward. There is no Edward Rootree. There is an Edward Rootree, just not in the computer. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. Really, Danielle isn't much older. Is there a Danielle Rootree? Danielle Franks. I'm just trying to find Eli, Miracle's youngest. No. So this is Eli. Oh, Elias C and Elias M. I still don't know which one. Okay, well, let's look back at that picture. He's holding. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did. I was voted. So there's an older Eli. Just one of these. Oh no, that has to be 2, 3, 4. Filtered behind. So if that's Miracle, that's got to be Miracle's oldest, and then that's Eli. Miracle made it in, so he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child also holds a grip. That's because that's Miracle. No, that's not. That's not the Miracle's kid Miracle. That's Eli. That's Eli. I just don't know which one he is. So which one are you? If that's a... I need a secondary. I do. Means you need to be Lauren, because you're the only lady. Go get some dinner in you, bud. Glasses. Don't know who you are. Our generation. So that should be everyone on this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people. Win wasn't there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwyn. Plus Sam. So there's 7. plus Sam. 7, Miracle, and Sam, whichever one Sam is. So many other people, so did not make it in. Four. That's Zachariah Morden. If you were born, you would be a Rootree. So the only way this would have been changed, this was a Morden. James Morden. And take on the last name. So he is still, but he's still a blood relative, as on the mother's side, I think. That's Zachariah. So who's Sam? That's Sam. That's Sam. Only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Okay. The four of us stand together. So we clump the middle. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. So is Gwen included in the four of us, but like kind of a misspeaking kind of thing? Behind and in front. So bam, 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 bam. Technically a 5-piece. Okay, let's look up Sam. Let's get Sam figured out. Sam who? Bob argued that he should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the root. Ended up going to Zach, although his surname doesn't match the candy. The firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Not sure how this relevant to running a company, but granted. See, Sam was brought up here. So Sam, okay. Elias Rootree, for previous entry, learned that Elias Rootree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, being gatherings. Elias Rootree's wife's somebody. And he had sisters. Granddad had a brother. Was told to trim their branch of the family tree. So why is Sam special? So Sam is not on the family tree. Angie. All the new gens do a secret meeting in Zach's office. Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. Uncle Junior. Patsy. Russia? Whatever. Perception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. He swore he saw Sam working alongside the farm. Farm. From all three on the. So Sam was working at the Anderson farm. Oh no, the Anderson maple farm. So Sam was working there as a farmhand. Oh shit. I mean, okay, so illegitimate child in the Rootree family. So Elias's wife, Sam's in here, illegitimate child, is still blood related, sort of, through Elias. Illegitimate child to be working on the Anderson farm that makes the candy in order to still, like, take care of him. He's involved in family meetings. So that's who that is. Sam's in here. Okay. So that's why everything's going on in here. Clark. Isn't much older. I think when I get 16. Clark is a free spirit. Okay. Pop forced Clancy to send Clark to the academy. Clancy is Clark's father, right? Gotta be. Yeah, the junior. But it's like, what? I don't have an occupation or anything for him. Brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. Edward is set to take over his he retires. Okay, so let's... But I looked up Edward Roottrees. Yeah, there's no Edward Roottrees. Clancy Edward. See, Junior. God. Our story with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think we were carrying on. Ark Rafferty. Yes. That is 100% correct. Zach's not a bad president, and his sister seems to be doing a good job of raising her twins. This is Gwen. They don't. Mother's family was called the Cossels, which hardly. Let's just look there. Lord. Father was the head lawyer for Roottrees Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Trust. Which makes sense because he is Clancy Edward. And, okay, I feel like I'm kind of bumped up against a bit of a wall here. God. All that. Okay, what's next? Elias is going to pivot to insurance. Trust. I looked. Trust. That's about it. Carl's cousin Jim Rootree. Same. Okay. I. Okay, so that's that as well. About other band, because it was C and J plus J and D. Mark Rafferty. Yeah, because I looked this up. Yeah. James Roottrees. Look up some of the other albums that came up here. Down to the City. Wasn't professionally reviewed, though die-hard fans of Jim and Diamond online say it was returned to form. The CD was apparently so hard to find in stores, some fans resorted to selling cassette bootlegs. This website that claims to sell the album. You find short sound one of the songs called Sun. And then it Sound of Laughter. Basic liner notes state the lyrics and guitar credit to Jim. Look at their fan club. Diamond Dazzlers named the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. I'm really impressed with the amount of text that's in this game. And having it to be such a free-form search system as well, that you can just kind of highlight anything and look for it, is kind of great. Got a forum post with cool things you got in the mail. One replied, Jim and Diamond will still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamond's Dazzlers. Come by some pictures as well as some history about the fan. No longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. Fierce debate and subsequent cool or pathetic. Like the little, this is summarizing what the character finds in their search, right? And I like the little editorializing that they do as well. Card from 1996, he's been a recluse since then, included a picture of Jim and Diamond's young son Wolf, as well as about his note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. Young son Wolf. Wolf. Damn. This is also a musician. Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were the opening act for the band the review actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual. Sure were extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive. And not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. Or were losing a fortune. The reviewer said, although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. There's no picture of the Floozies performing live, but the cover of the CD they were selling at Conquistador has been added to evidence. Well, let's look up Beef Baby. Can't actually find anything else about it anywhere, but the name like that is hard not to speculate on the subject matter. Certainly piques your interest. If only had the time and resources to look into it further. It's so true. shows. Guitars, vocals, Candy, bass, Nikki, drums, Nina. Don't know who that's gonna be. Which Rootree is it? Candy, Nikki, or Nina? Or are they all... Candy? That's it! Candy! It's gotta be. Gotta be. Nope, wrong. Because if it was right, these would also lock in, and that is wrong. What did Clark Rafferty do? Because Chris Rafferty is correct, I think. Chris Rafferty. Wolf Rouge. Christmas card. On a picture of a Christmas card from Jim and Diamond, included a picture of his son Wolf listening to his parents late. Not loving it. Unknown occupation. You are child. You are baby. You are 8 to 12 student. Yay! Who do I have wrong? Hello, skunk. Oh, they're locked in. Okay. Hope you're doing well, skunk. It's been a little while. How you doing? How's the art treating you? Booyah.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier.
Yeah, wow,
No
way.
But I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I
Yeah.
get to fest.
Still more VR chat avatars, or are you just doing kind of modeling generally?
I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of.
Revealing the illegitimate child and true heirs to the Rootree name.
If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Sure, why not? Okay, so who do I have wrong? You're wrong. But you're correct. Musician is probably wrong. He probably was up to other stuff. That's this album. Clark Rafferty. Bam. Because that's Jim Rootree, so that has to be Clark Rafferty. And that is a Rafferty. And Clark is son. So that has to be Clark Rafferty. But I know at least at one point was a musician. The only thing I know that is his picture. So it has to be that that's incorrect. Still don't know who you are. Still don't know what you do either. That's fine. We're getting there. Ba-ba. Cherry Tree, an album by Jim and Diamond. The songs is called Sun. Not a full version.
The spark of light that ever
brightly shone. From her starting days, imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart in part, I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be the son of...
The son of something. Not helpful. Joan, alone, alone, son of... Rhymes with alone. Maybe. No idea. That's kind of neat, though. I do like there's all these little extra bits kind of in there. I have no idea who you three are. I still have zero clue. Gwen and the boys. Film school. Paris Film School. Maybe that's something. Oh. Gwyn boys. Gwyn. Oh, God. Two ends, of course. Oh. Look up some of the movies. Guys Like Us. 1953 film in which two secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life until one of them falls in love with their client. Gwen Roottrees, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Light. The title is a play on words. It could be read like two women are men similar to other men, or that men are fond of them. That could be true. Christmas Mission. War movie about World War I, released 1955. Gwen Roottrees had a role as a soldier's wife who wrote letters from home. The movie was marketed as an incredible true story, but no records of the events happening has ever been found. I mean, maybe it's about the other... Lauren writing letters to Jacob, who was in World War I. But what else was she in? I need more information. Wild Bill Williams. They divorced before the birth of her second child. There is no William here, but a single William. And his internet experience. Yeah, they did a really good job. Blonde. No, there's no other pictures of her. If I could get you, that would be good. James, Carl, Mark Rafferty. No, any of you would be good too. These are just like children of children. It's only Zool. Gwen Roottrees. Son? Birth? Divorce? Marriage? Maybe just look up marriages. Maybe that'll just give me some. James Morden marriage. James Morden marriage. Who do I have unpaired? Clancy Roottrees marriage. Oh, if it isn't Miracle Roottrees marriage. Oh, back off. Miracle Network. Miracle Roottrees arrives so late in Mother's life. But he had to eat Elias. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth. Got Miracle Roottrees Jr. Oh, Eli is not mentioned. They pushed him to the side. They talk about him because he's the preacher and moved on to the business. He is not mentioned. Like, ever again. Yeah, but that's the original Elias. There's two others. There's two other Eliases. More quotes from below. Okay, so we have a book here. Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy by Bess Williams. Grandson Carl, Elias was voted wife. Oh! An old book about Elias Roottrees. No downloadable version. Possible to find. Okay. No worries. I'd like to know. I need to know more the exact names of all. Maybe I went too far too fast. Just look at the candy company. The president's been directed to Gwyneth, including this is Root specializes in children's. Someone goes by only a nickname from the results. Okay. The only thing I can think of is... Oh, there has to be a Sam Roottrees. Sam Jones. I don't know. There's so much information on this page that I have not found yet. Clark's getting married, in my opinion, far too young. Really 18. Danielle isn't much older, so... Which Danielle? Did not get married to a Danielle. Clark is getting married to Danielle. I'm a silly. Openly confronting them, Clark left his generation group of kids growing up, inspired musicians, artists, and dancers. The only one who has any discipline is Carl. That's because Pop Force. Yeah. Clancy sent Carl to the academy. This has to be a Clancy. Yeah, this is the only Clancy available. My brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring someone who would be illegal to marry. Edward is set to take. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. So one of these is Edward. I don't know which one. Swashbuckle man. Did I ever look that up? Let's find out. No. Is there other last name? Efforty? He released his X marks the spot. Yeah, there we go. Buried Treasure by Lauren Roottrees from the author of the Court series. Now for Lauren Roottrees' next book, Visiting the Diary 10 years later. Oh my god, there's a second version of the diary. Holy shit. Oh, we hit the mother lode. This was a version of Lauren Roottrees' diary released in 1975, 10 years later. It contains no pictures, but has many new passages that reflect the last 10 years. A major event changed Laura's outlook on certain subjects. The death of Elias. A summary of the fall has been added to your note. Select page. Flip, yeah. That's not a bad president, and his sister seems to be doing well, raising her twins. Gwen is Gwen. Might come home next year so we can meet her. But the free spirits in any other family that all end up on the streets, even Clark. Okay. Okay, we got a little bit of information on these. The new diary opens with an explosive incident that happened in the decade between the release and re-release of Lauren's diary. Elias Roottrees had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud. Samantha Roottrees. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive Samantha Roottrees. Not Sam, Samantha. Illegitimate child. Samantha's in there. Or this is Samantha. It's kind of hard to say. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retain the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. Save you. It was then that scandalous secrets came out. None of the 5 pieces were surprised, but it was quite a shock to everyone else, including Sam. He had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr., Patricia Christensen. Patricia, so Samantha, this is Samantha Roottrees. Or in there, but she's in the list, so she has to be in there. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. And pregnant after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Baby Samantha was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as E.C., Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. Into that almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr. and they finally married in their... Patricia, Patsy. Got it. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic quite. So when Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Rootree in the first place. She was not a part of the clan's trust. He wanted to include her in the family affairs. That was the initial entry entitled Sam. Wow! Family problems. Hello, Machine King. I hope you're good. Stuff more about Sam. I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Rootree. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. The chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwyn never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her. And the children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Who's Ernie? Ernie and the kids. Because that's Samantha. Ernie. Ernest, I guess. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. Long time since any real Rootree was excited and interested in actual candy as Ernie. Bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. Ernie and the kids. Hey, what's up? Coming up next, Ernie and the kids. So one of them is Ernie Jr., one of them is Gwyneth. I'm going to assume Ernie Jr. is first. And Gwyneth. Assuming this is the order. Gardner? A green thumb. I don't know. Was learning from Zachariah, so I guess this would be third president? Maybe? He's the fifth. I don't know who the fourth would be. Most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. I'm just spinning an image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. Sam! Jet black hair, green eyes. Hold on. Sam is in this picture. You are Samantha. And you ran the farm. Farmer? Sure. Why not? I still can't believe you're wrong. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Have that covered. Her children have glasses. I had to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the operations would pass, as long as she was willing. A flashback to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money, after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person. But Pop once referred to him a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. A homosexual, potentially? I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. EC and Mr. Miller were... yeah. Okay. Not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that level. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. Even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problem with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the five pieces, Elias and Gwyneth. Understandable. Companion piece to entry about her son, Clark. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrees ever remarried. I lost Jacob, and Gwyn divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what it's up to in Starlet. Starlet? Tabloid with a focus on famous actors and actresses. It didn't go into my... Starlet. Downloaded? Wild Bill Williams, mentioned many times throughout the magazine's lifespan, with stories and gossip about who seen with in public. First roles on Walter Forsythe. Thank you, finally. He doesn't mention her by name. He determined the context talking about Gwyn Roottrees. Apology, all the ladies I'm actually taken. Favorite directing a horror movie and asked me to... Bitch, cut me from the picture! Albert. That's so much. Most of the film crying, even though it's incredible. I know I did application. This was true love. The third is a rumor that his divorce from Gwyn with multiple affairs, including one actress. Wild Bill and public while she was holding a baby and visibly pregnant. Not long after, Gwyn announced she was divorcing Wild Bill and she was pregnant. Also that she was pregnant again, given this. I really shouldn't be looking these up. I'm on kind of a wild goose chase. Walter Forsythe, Gal and the Gang, directed by Bruce Throckmorton. A whole bunch of common information in Russ Online. Well, let's look up Bruce Throckmorton then. Died on set in 1993. Most of camp, his signature flourishes, which include a silly message a minute or two after movie's credits ended. Most cut from home video release of his title, so fans of his work can try to track down film. Okay. Let's not worry about it then. Ugh. The way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone from this family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows, Eli C. stepped up and helped. I could say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C. One's an Edward. One's Eli C. I don't know which one is which. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli C. is probably Jim. Yeah, that's got to be him. It's got to be the dad in that direction. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage himself is a rock, so who knows what causes these things. I suspect he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. This is Jane. The sister of Diamond LaRue. And that is other base here. Eli. Without her, he'd be the third wheel, and I imagine they wouldn't last long as a trio. But still, I didn't think a marriage on such a shaky foundation like that can last. I was right last time. Oh, addresses feedback. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary was how many similar names there are. There are 4 Elis, for Pete's sake, but that's how it is. Someone would say, I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's why they became Uncle Jr. or Miracles Eli or Eli C. Where's the other Eli? Brother, uncle, cousin. Got brother, uncle, cousin. There's one more. Oh, literally the patriarch. Family names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. Now you see where my pop's name came from. Clancy Edward. Okay. So, one level up becomes a level below. At least for the older part of the family. One thing that's always been consistent in our family is that any time someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. The juniors are always the firstborn son. Junior. Are there any other Forsyths? Good. Junior. So you are a lady. A lady whose name begins with G. Which means you gotta be a Gwendolyn. Okay. We're slowly narrowing it in. Family names were as unusual. That goes for Miracle, Eli, even Clancy. With the women, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth, Caroline, who is Elias's mother. Women's names tend to get all mixed up as generations went on. I guess it's because there's no female equivalent of Junior. Read my diary and confused. You're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving certified mail for an Edward Clancy Rootree. I had to break the news that they got my father's name backwards. Clancy Edward. Yep, which we have locked in. A fun bonus. Apparently, it's the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes based on the teacher's name, she must have a grade. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town, and she hugged him. I told her he was my Pop. She pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Oh, so this has to be meeting Samantha. And she said, your Pop is my dad. She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing, so I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, don't worry, I am glad she's gone. So you also have an illegitimate somewhere. Oh. Fascinating. How are you not a musician? Did you, like, do something? I feel like I have more than enough information for another lock-in. I got you-ish. Got you-ish. No, I know I have you. I just don't know you. Are you also a preacher? You're definitely not a preacher. You're a baby. I have no idea what you do. I'm just gonna put Preacher for now until I know. Oh, no, I don't have enough. I don't have pictures. That's actually the most important one, is I don't have pictures. Okay. This has the most notes still. Let's look up Stephanie Jones. Stephanie Jones, a Kansas City Council won her campaign on Election Day about a month ago. I'll mention the Roottrees. Sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. Yeah, presumably local paper. Articles all over the year. Adjacent. A video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, but it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County, has no connection to Butler County. Not to be confused with a similar game called The Roottrees Are Dead is a video game about a fictional family called the Roottrees, discovering their lineage right after the Roottrees sisters are killed in a plane crash. The game takes place in Butler County, which is a real county in Pennsylvania. We use fictional elements such as fake newspaper, Butler County. The creator of the game doesn't know anyone who lives in Butler County, has never been there. Instead, he just randomly picked somewhere on the map near a major metropolitan area that sounded reasonable and hoped not to somehow accidentally offend the people that actually live there. That is really funny. Okay, let's look up the Butler. I've not used the periodicals. Let's look up Stephanie something. What's her name? Stephanie Jones. Recent mention of Stephanie Jones' small report in her election. Was in back of the campaign mailer. Well, I have the campaign mailer, but it's fine. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon, until married to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County. Brian Jones and Stephanie Landon. Why is this important? CM. Father of Stephanie Jones? Stephanie Landon? CM? It's CM. There's gonna be someone in this line. I don't know where, though, but somewhere in there. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. My mother and her partner essentially had an entire female influence. Distant cousin. She's a distant cousin of the Roottrees. Mother Caroline, a local artist, has often come out opposed the corporation's policies regarding deforestation. Not a fighter, want to bring love to the world. Okay, so Caroline, a distant cousin. Oh my god. Okay. Caroline. And I'll look up Roottrees. Stephanie Landon, Brian Jones. Jones Graphic and look on there. Company, it's just Butler County for some time. Names, website, addresses, hours, a few examples of Stephanie Jones campaign. Roottrees Candy Company, Butler County, Miracle Network. They've done everything for everybody. Roottrees Motors. We also do web design. Come on to get a quote today. Children of Eden. Butler Summer. That sounds fun. Not gonna get me anywhere, but that's fun. Musical song by Steven Schwartz. Game designer by the name Jeremy Johnson really likes it. Realized it kind of fit timeline-wise with the game he was making. Decided to use it instead of something fake as kind of an Easter egg. You're gonna check it out, but if you do, the song's Hardest Part of Love and Lost in the Wilderness. If you haven't already, you should hit the back button to go back to Jones Graphic Print. Instead of searching for Children of Eden, you should probably search for whoever was performing it. Oh, this is adorable. I absolutely love it. All right, fine. Butler Summer Theater performs plays, musicals during the summer. Makes sense. Their website is a thank you message. Thank you for making the 1998 season a success. Press as a musical. The cast and other scenes relevant. Below the cast, it lists the crew. Posters and additional set design elements by Jones Graphic Print and choreography by November Studios. That seems important. They advertise lessons for ballet and jazz classes. There are hardly any other information available. November. I've heard November show up a couple times. Roottrees Motors? I haven't seen that either. Finding trace them on the internet. Local bands may be featured in other places. An ad for Roottrees Motors. It used to be called Wilkins Motors. An ad for Roottrees Motors. Every week, recent change included version of the ads have been shown. Okay, Wilkins Mode. Older version. Does not show up. Okay. It's CM. Not getting your picture until I know that I actually need. New name we promised. Sweeter Family. Butters Wilkins joined the Roottrees. Ah, Tessa Roottrees. For 50 years as a family business, Tessa Roottrees, their newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottrees Motor parents. 50 years. Be 96, 97, which is the most recent. So Tessa Roottrees. That'd be. But we got a name. I just don't know who your parents are. Let's look up Tessa Roottrees. Ugh. Motor's parent. This is the best lead I think I have right now. Is just trying to find everything I can in here. Let's look up James Roottrees. Oh, really? Mark? Oh. Samantha Roottrees. If they're the local local paper, they gotta have some good third. Oh, interesting. The tabloid. Interview. Asked my last name. The power of my name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly pre-supports family names and honoring them. Father decided to bless me with a famous name. Nothing wrong with Cornwall. Roottrees has power. Cornwall. Minus Cornwall did not take his last name. Gave her the Rootree name instead. Her husband, something goes by Wild Bill, it's an infamous name he repurposed himself because he didn't benefit being born with a famous one. Wild combined with the limbs is memorable. Relocated to Paris. I know your readers love to keep up. Wild Bill and I have a child. We're sticking with the last name, not Willie. Alliteration. Are both our family names for the next generation. So it's something R. Rootree. First one. Robert or Ronald? It could be both. Well, let's put both those names in there and see what comes up. Huh. A bunch of Kevin MacLeod. This is a bunch of Kevin MacLeod music. That's kind of funny. Okay. I did not realize. Okay, anyway. I think I should stop, get some food. What a cool game, though. Very, very neat. I really like this kind of investigation style. Don't know how good it is to, like, watch. Because I don't know if you can, like, play along to a certain extent. Unless you're, like, in it. But it's cool. I'm really enjoying it. I am not getting the sense of that, like, conspiracy potential that was like quite quickly hinted at, because we had the like illegitimate child, but that's dealt with now. Sort of. Well, there's the hint. There's another one. Nancy Edwards, Lauren's father, may have had something going on there. But who even knows? Who even knows? But regardless, I'm gonna go get some food and go to sleep and hopefully deal with more insurance stuff tomorrow. We will see. Yeah. I don't want to rate anybody. I just want to... So, I'm just gonna go. I hope you have a good night. I hope you take it easy. I will see you around. Have a good one. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm just gonna go, because I'm done. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Later.